chose this life. And someday, it's going to get me killed.
Hey everyone, it's Jonathan Silva here with LazyDog Films, and today we're going to be talking about Atomic Blonde.
Oh my God, I think I love you.
That's too bad.
Now, before I crap all over Atomic Blonde, not entirely, but let me talk about some of the things that I really liked about Atomic Blonde. Charlize Theron is okay. She gives an okay performance. She's not terrible in it. She's great in everything, and I think that kind of lends itself to this film. Same with James McAvoy. James McAvoy is great. They aren't really giving award-winning performances here, but I think they're fine. Same with John Goodman, Toby Jones. Naomi, I leave. The cast is pretty solid. Nothing too amazing, but kind of solid. I do like the cinematography. It's very much in the style of like John Wick when he goes, like specifically in the first one, where he walks into the club for the first time, and you kind of see like these neon lights of like blues and purples. Here it's kind of thrown to the extreme where it's like reds and greens and blues and purples, and it's kind of like this cold color look to make it feel much more colder than it is in 1989 Berlin, East and West Berlin. The fight choreography is bar none. The director, who I'm gonna butcher his name right now, David Licht. Go with David Licht. He shoots all his fight sequences with the widest angle possible, stepping far away from the action as he can to encapsulate everything that's happening with their actors. And I think because Charlize Theron trained with 8 trainers for her fight sequences in Atomic Blonde, it really lends itself to shoot as wide as you possibly can, just to show how much effort she had put into her fight sequences, and it truly pays off. I think there's a fight sequence here that's about maybe 20 minutes long. It's done in one take, where she kind of goes into a building and goes into an elevator, fights a couple of guys coming down the stairs, fights more guys, shoots guys, comes back downstairs out of that building into a car chase. And it is done with such respect for the craft. It's so fantastic just to watch, and as I'm watching it, my mouth is opening wider and wider, and the saliva is just dripping down my mouth, almost like I'm smelling a nice pork roast right in front of me. It's just divine. It is divine. No, but in all seriousness, I think that scene by itself is worth the price of admission. What I liked about it is that it is taking a page out of the Raid's book, where it's adding the same thing with John Wick, where it's adding a sense of realism to the fights, where they're fighting, and it's not like this Steven Seagal where he's just throwing hands and occasionally throwing a kick or two, and not breaking a sweat, not even breathing heavy. His heart rate is still at a resting rate of like a 60. Here you can actually see the exhaustion washing over Charlize Theron as she's fighting, and when she gets and I think this lends more to her acting here than in any of the talking sequences or any of the scenes where she has dialogue. When she sits down, she's like so exhausted, and she gets up and she's like struggling to get up. Like you can see on her face, like, do I have to? It's almost like that. I think I have to say, compared to John Wick 2, I think some of the fight sequences here are far superior than the choreography, some of the choreography from John Wick 2. However, John Wick 2 is a much better film. You can actually see my review somewhere. It'll pop up here. Ultimately, what I thought about the film is that it is boring and stupid. The action sequences, while exciting, doesn't make up for some of the dialogue and some of the sequences where Charlize Theron has to sneak into East Berlin with a brown wig, or she has to tell the story of what's happening to her superiors, and the entire time I'm like, can we just move this along? I wanna see more fight sequences, or at the very least, this script could have been a lot better. I understand it's a comic book called The Coldest City, but the script is written by Johnstad, and there is not enough excitement to carry over from fight to fight. The in-between time is so boring and so dumb. It's written in a way where it's trying to stay one step ahead of the audience, even though the audience is probably going, yeah, I kind of saw that coming a mile away. And then it does something that is incredibly cool at the very moment. But once the credits start to roll and you start listening to the song that's playing, which is Under Pressure, you start to think about the whole situation, and you're like, wait a minute, that does not make sense. How? Really? Yeah, ultimately I didn't like the film. It barely keeps its excitement up when it comes to the downtime between Charlize Theron trying to figure out who Satchel is. Spoiler alert, it's her. It's keeping information away from the audience for the sake of trying to keep that final twist a twist and a secret, and it doesn't work on any level. I think if it was handled just a smidge smarter, or that final reveal, you have to watch it for yourself. I think it's incredibly stupid. I think, unless I didn't put that much thought into it, and out of sheer boredom I started crafting a different story on my own, or just zoned off until she started fighting again. But it's I don't get it. I honestly don't. But did you see Atomic Blonde? Tell me what you think. Leave your comment in the comment section down below. Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you find it boring? Did you not like it like I did? Yeah, go ahead, like, share, subscribe, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Patreon. I've been Jonathan Silva, and this has been LazyDog Films.